Alright, hello and welcome to the video breakdown for the TFR review. As I'm sure you noticed, it really took some time for me to make this one, like either 5 months or 7 months, depending on how you count it. Aside from general laziness, I blame this on being in university, which really takes up quite a lot of time. Time that could be better spent editing Hoi4 videos, of course. A bit of this conflict is illustrated by this post I made. And yeah, the video did indeed not get released in May, but at least I did actually clutch my finals, so that's cool. But being in uni is not all bad for my YouTube career, because the place I live at actually has a recording room, which makes it so that the voiceover sounds a bit better because you see the insulation here on the walls and so on. The sound also sounds better because I actually manually removed some of the mouth sounds in post. I won't be doing that for this video though, because I am burnt out. But yeah, so basically that just consists of memorizing what a undesirable mouth sound sounds like. It typically looks like this. This is the voiceover opened up in Spectral View in Audacity, by the way. And then you can either manually remove it with the Spectral Edit tool, like this. There you see the undesirable pattern is deleted. Or you can use like a plugin for that. It's called like Declicker. So I manually went through basically all of the voiceover I did. So these are all the edited voiceover folders, and the other stuff is base voiceover. So that's why, in my opinion at least, the voiceover is a bit less annoying to listen to in this video than in previous videos. Of course, this improved quality wasn't free, of course. This video took 160 hours to make. 97 hours is shown in the video here, yeah, on the just Windows clock. But for some reason the count stopped at 96 hours. But after that I started a new instance of it and continued for about another 60. So that's how I ended up at that calculation. I don't know if it's supposed to take this long to make a 15-minute video. It might just be because I'm slow. But I also want to blame my editing software a bit, like any good YouTuber. So here you can see the project file for one of the video parts, the part videos or whatever I should call them. You see this project file is the composite. It's called composite, and it consists of all of the individual snippets from the video that I've individually rendered out at a high bitrate, and then the final video is just the composite of all them put together. And this is because Vegas is extremely bad at handling this amount of layers. Every single one of these is a layer for more than a few seconds of footage. So that's why I had to split up the project into various parts to retain my sanity while editing this. One thing about Vegas that has really started going on my nerves is how composite layers work, or is how composite modes work. I know that in Premiere, which I don't use but I have used, you can apply specific compositing modes to individual clips and not entire layers, which is how you have to do it in Vegas. And unfortunately things like overlay, even if you don't have anything on the track, if the track is set to overlay composite mode, it will still affect the layers below it. So that's why I have this just grey color here. And this grey color track is made a child track of the overlay compositing mode track, so that there's always just a grey block underneath anything I put in the overlay layer. So if I don't have anything that I want to be on the overlay layer, it won't affect the background. Because you see, if I remove this grey stuff, the background just becomes darker, which I don't need. But yeah, that's one really bad thing about Vegas. It's very underperformant because of the amount of layers it requires that you get. And it's also just less convenient than having the adjustment layer or individual blending mode system. So this, alongside just general privacy and free and open source software being a desirable thing, is one of the chief reasons I want to switch to Linux when the support for Windows 10 runs out this October. I've already installed Linux on one of my smaller laptops and it really runs very well. I use Linux Mint, and I swear it's not just because PewDiePie got that. But yeah, so the plan is to install that on my main computer and then just edit in something like DaVinci Resolve or something, because I've heard that works on Linux. Well, purely editing-wise, this video wasn't really anything special. I think you've seen all of the flares in previous videos, like Bezier curve animation and slide, these things here, and page flip sort of transitions and so on, that make it flow more fluidly. But there's still some things I want to touch on about the production process. So for example, at some points in the video you can see things like this. So basically it's Hoi4, but it's like in free cam mode, And basically how I did that, it's in HOI4, so everyone can do it. You can just open up Steam and just set the debug mode flag, and then you can just use a video game controller to pan around as you wish. So that's how I did that. I also want to thank John Parker 117 for letting me borrow this footage from the breakdown of the TFR server that I used basically as an effect at the end of the video. The civil war, or whatever you want to call it, in the TFR dev community occurred when I was not awake, so I'm very happy that someone was there to record it for me to steal. And I'm pretty sure if you look closely, I did include an attribution to him. If the preview wants to load. Thank you, Vegas. Okay, it seems it does not want to load. Alright, one restart of the composite project file later, and I can finally show you the part here where I used this footage. So, this stuff scrolling in the background is from John Parker 117's recording, and you can see the footage credit thing up here. Last but not least, as like a fun fact, it doesn't really have anything to do with the editing, but I mentioned in a community post that I considered making the economy section of the video more in depth. And I did actually make a script for it. It's very, very long and includes things as exciting as calculating the Swedish economy, like in TFR, by manually adding up all the values and spendings. Yeah, really exciting stuff, I know. But I figured the video would do better without that unnecessary information. And also I was just lazy, so I cut that out. In other news, unfortunately I am now employed and will be for a little while more before I return to university this fall. If you ever have the opportunity to stay unemployed without becoming homeless, take it every single time. I refuse to elaborate. So I don't really have that much time to work on a video right now, nor do I have any great idea of what video to make. I did start working on like a Finno-Korean hyperwar video a while ago, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel very exciting. It's just another vanilla wacky playthrough. And I think a huge part of what has made my last two videos pop off, well, my last two flagship videos, is that they're about things that are topical, like Israel or TFR. So I don't know if the Finno-Korean hyperwar video would do that well. And honestly, these videos take so long to make that I really need the idea to be solid for it to be worth the time and effort to make them. Like, the Argentina video is probably my most heavily edited video. Nowadays I think it's too heavily edited, and it didn't really do that well, so I don't really want to repeat that again. But you know, I should always be working on something, so I'll probably continue developing the Finno-Korean hyperwar video, even if I don't think it will be that interesting to a random person. Also, if you guys have any ideas, feel free to drop them either here or on Patreon. And of course, if you have any questions related to the video editing process or the like other things that go into making these videos, I will try to respond to them as fast as I can. Your support really means a lot to me, and I'm very glad you enjoy my stuff. So with that, I wish you guys a good rest of the week, and see you later.